Today I'm going to read some stories um, about crime and mysteries. I separate a collection crimes, and I read for you. So I am cell phone, and the first story called How's Your Mother? How's your mother? How's your mother? And I was with missing this Mickey. So I bring today because I like very much your whispering, and I thought could be to be would be perfect. Would be perfect. Sorry about my English, but I feel insecure when I have talk to people, even to be my camera. But I know that I talking to you. But I am recording this video to improve my English. So, got on. How's your mother? I wanna you pay attention this history because it's interesting. Okay. Let's go. It's alright, mother. Just the post Humphrey Bradley called from the bottom of the stairs, and he opened the door to the village postman. There's a package for you, Miss Bertrand, said Rick Cotter, putting his hand out the door. From Cotter Sandry. It says on it, roses, I think. Yes, said Patrick, trying to close the door. It's the right time of year for planting roses, is it? November? Yes. How's your mother? Rick went on. He was in a hurry to leave. Not so bad. She never seemed to get any letters, does she? No. Well, when you reach that age, most of your friends are dead. How old is she now? She was 86 last July. That's a good age. She doesn't go out much, does she? No, not at all. No, if you excuse me, I have to leave to catch my train to work. On his way to the station, he stopped at the village shop to get his newspaper. Good morning, said Mr. Denton, the schoolkeeper. How's the old lady? Oh, not too bad, thank you. For her age, that is. Oh, Mr. Patrick, said Mr. Denton, there is going to be a meeting in the village hall on Sunday about... I'm sorry, Mr. Denton. I don't like to leave my mother at the weekends. leaves for his old mother, said Mr. Denton. Well, said his wife, she probably won't live much longer. She's been in bed ever since they moved here. And how long ago was that? 3 years? 3 or 4? I don't know. What the hell do when she dies? Someone told me that he was talking about going to live in Canada. Well, I expect she'll living in some money. Well, Mr. Denton expected something. Everyone in the village is so hit about it. In his office that afternoon, Patrick was getting ready to go home when the telephone rang. Mr. Brownlow wanted to see him. He hurried to his employer's office. Humphrey, come in and sit down. Patrick sat at the edge of a chair. He was going to miss his train. Mr. Brownlow said, "You know I intended to go to Amsterdam next week for the meeting." "Yes." "Well, I've just heard that I must go home tomorrow. Parsons is ill, and I'm taking his place. So I'd like you to go to Antwerp on Monday." "Me? But what about Miss Potter?" "He was a more responsible position in the company." "He's too busy. It will be good experience for you. So I asked my secretary to change the ticket." "No, Mr. Brownlow. You see, it's rather difficult." "What's the problem?" "It's my mother. She's very old and I look after her." "Oh, it's only for three days, Humphrey. And this is important." "I'm sorry. It's not possible." "My mother..." There was a pause. Mr. Brownlow was looking annoyed. "All right then, you can go now, or you'll be late for your train." Patrick looked at his watch. "I think I can just catch if it were hurry." "Oh, that's great." His employer gave a cold smile. "Mother, I'm home. It's exactly 6:35. I had to run for the train, but I get it." Humphrey hurried up the stairs, went past his own bedroom, and stood by the open door of the second bedroom. There was a smile on his lips as he looked in the empty bed. It was Monday morning, and Patrick was making his breakfast. He turned on his cooker and prepared to boil an egg. It was old cooker, but it still worked well. He looked out of the kitchen window with satisfaction. During the weekend, he had dug the garden and planted all the roses. The doorbell rang. It was Greg Carter, the postman, with a big package in his hand. "Sorry, I couldn't get this through the letterbox." Patrick could see that it contained more information about Canada. He would enjoy reading that on the train. "Oh, and there's later too, but not for the old lady." "Is she all right today?" fine, thank you. Patrick managed to shut the door behind the postman. He opened the later. When he saw what was it, he sat down at the bottom of the stairs, feeling weak with shock. He had won a large sum of money in a competition. You want to see me, Patrick? Yes, Miss Brown. Well, be quick, then. I've just flown back from home. I've come to tell you I'm leaving. You mean you want to leave the company? This is Sunday. Yes, I'm going abroad to Canada with my mother. Well, you can go in a month. I need a month's notice. Is it possible for me to go sooner? Mr. Brown suddenly lost his temper. Yes, go today. Patrick go home before lunch, feeling pleasant. He had found a man who had agreed to sell a house for him, and he had completed the form necessary for living in Canada. He opened his front door and called out, "Hello, Mother, I'm home." He stopped suddenly as he saw Rick Carter coming out of his kitchen. Good God, what are you doing here? I was passing the house. I saw the smoke. How did you get in? I had to break a window. I've called the police. I explained it out to Sergeant Wallace. Patrick's face was white. Explained what? About the fire. There was fire in your kitchen. You left the cookie on and the curtain was on fire. I was thinking of your mother upstairs, not able to move, so I put the fur out. Oh, thank you. That was very good of you. Then I went to see if she was alright. I went upstairs. The door was closed. I opened one. Your room, I think. Then I opened another. There was a bed there, but there was no one in it. No, there was no one anywhere. The house was empty. Yes. The postman stood there looking it in. I thought that was rather strange, Mr. Patrick. You thought your mother lived here. She does. I mean, she did. She died. Died? When? You said this morning when I asked. She died 2 days ago. His face was red now. I'm sorry, I can't think straight. It's the shock, you know. I see, Rick Carter said quietly. Well, I must go now. It's about a week after the fire, of course. Rick Carter had talked to Mr. and Mrs. Denton, and they had talked to almost everyone who came into the shop. Sergeant Wallace, the village policeman, had heard a lot of strange stories about Humphrey Patrick. So now he had decided to go and talk to himself. Patrick opened the door slowly, and the sergeant went straight into the sitting room. It was full of boxes. You're packing your box, I see, Mr. Patrick. When are you going to Canada? In about a month. And You're going to buy a house there, I heard. Yes. You're going alone? Your mother not with you now? No, she died. Yes. That's what I want to discuss. As you know, this is a small place and most people take interest in the other people's business. I've been hearing some strange things about you. People are saying you killed your mother to get her money. That's stupid. It's not true. Perhaps. Let me ask you a few questions. First, when did your mother die? 10 days ago. The 11:30. Are you sure? It was the day you had the fire. Sorry, 2 days before that. It was such a shock. I don't know. Of course. And so for the funeral was on the 10th. Sometimes about them, yes. It's strange that none of the local funeral director know anything about it. I used someone from town. I see. And it was the doctor from town who signed the document say that she was dead. Yes. Do you perhaps have a copy of the document? Patrick looked unhappy. You know I don't. I'm afraid, the sergeant said. That suggests there may be something unusual about your mother's death now, if a crime has taken place. No crime has taken place, Patrick cried. I have to go and mother. I never saw my mother. She left me when I was 6 months old, and I grew up in a children's home. Then who was living upstairs? Upstairs. Nobody. I live alone. I always have lived alone. I hate people. People are always asking your questions. They want to come into your house, take you out for drinks. I can't stand it. I just want to be alone. Sergeant Wallace tried to stop him, but now Patrick couldn't stop him. But people don't allow you to be alone. You have to have a reason. So I invented my mother. I couldn't do things. I couldn't see people because I had to get back to my mother. I even began to believe in her and talk to her. She never asked questions. She just loved me and was kind and beautiful. Now I'll call her. Sergeant Wallace took a moment to organize this new information. So you're telling me there never was any mother? It didn't kill her because she wasn't here. And how to explain that you suddenly have enough money to go to Canada and buy property? I won a competition. I got a letter on the morning of the fire. That's why I forgot to turn the cook off. I was so excited. I see. Sergeant Wallace got up and moved across the window. You've been digging the garden, I noticed. See, yes, I put those roses in. You plant the roses. Were you going away? A few days later, there was exciting news in the village. Patrick had been put in prison, and the police had dug up his garden and dug a part on the floor in his house. But but they hadn't found a body. Then the news came that he had been freed. It seemed that his strange story to Sergeant Wallace was true. There had been no one else living in the house. He had won a large amount of money, and Patrick's mother was living in Liverpool, and had been in trouble with the police on several occasions. Patrick came back to the house and continued preparing for his move to Canada. 2 days before he was going to leave in the early evening, someone rang his doorbell. It was December, dark and cold. All the village were inside their houses. He did not recognize the woman standing on the doorstep. She was dressed in the clothes of a young woman, but her face was old. "Hello, Humphrey," she said. "Who are you?" He held the door, ready to close it. The woman laughed. "No, I don't expect you to recognize me. You were very young when we last met." "You're not..." "Yes, I am. Don't you want to give your mother a kiss?" She paused her painted face toward him, and Patrick stepped back into the hall. The woman followed him. She looked at the packing cases. "Of course you're going away, Canada, is it?" "I read about it in the paper. I read about the money too." "What do you want?" said Patrick. "I've just come to see my little boy. I was thinking perhaps you should help your poor old mother now." "You never did anything for me. You left me." "That was a long time ago. No, now I want you to look after me in my old age." "In my old age." "Why don't you take your old mother to Canada with you?" "But you aren't my mother," he spoke quickly. "Oh yes, I am, Humphrey. My mother is beautiful and kind. She's nothing like you." "You are not my mother." His hand where his shoulder shaking her. "I'm your mother, Humphrey." She laughed here at him. His hand moved to her neck to stop her words. They became tight and tight, and he shocked her. They became tight and tight as he shocked her. He opened his hand, and the woman's body fell to the floor. Her mouth opened and her false teeth dropped out. Next morning, Humphrey Patrick went to the police station to see Sergeant Wallace. "Good morning, Mr. Patrick. What can I do for you?" "Sergeant, about my mother. I just wanted to tell you that I did kill her." "Oh, yes, and then you buried her in the garden." "Yes, I did." "Fine. I'm telling you I murdered someone," Patrick said. "Listen, Mr. Patrick," said the sergeant, "I'm very sorry about what happened, and you can have a little joke if you like. But now I have other things to do, so..." "You mean I can just go?" "Do, please." "To Canada?" anyone you like. Alright then, I'll go. He left the police station. Outside, Humphrey Pettigrew took a deep breath of air and smiled. Right, mother. We're going to Canada, he said. Okay, this history was this, and I wanna, if you like the history, I thought very interesting, and I don't read the other histories because the video got long. So sorry about my English if I wrong something, but is like I wanna learning. So thank you for presence and good night.